Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the first ever Davidson's Mains Primary School virtual assembly. Normally, we would be in the gym hall, all the classes together, but unfortunately, because of the way things are at the moment, we're having to do it from our own homes. So I'm sitting here in my sitting room, recording this for you, and hopefully you can watch this at home if it works. I'm still going to need some help from Mr. Harris to get it out to you all. So let's move on. Good. I think you'll know what this sign is, the Stay at Home, Protect the NHS and Save Lives symbol. You'll have been seeing a lot of that in the news and in the press. I don't know that many of you will have been into the middle of Edinburgh, but this is what it looks like. I didn't take this picture, the newspapers did, because I'm staying at home. But our streets are empty at the moment. A lot of you, I hope, are doing the Joe Wicks everyday PE and getting fitter. I wonder how many of you have made rainbows and put them up in your windows. To join with clapping for the NHS and all our carers and all the people who help support us, all our key workers, shopkeepers, shop workers, police, firemen, all carers and nurses and doctors and cleaners and all the people that are keeping things ticking along while we are all having to stay at home to save lives. And of course, for you guys, one of the most important things that's happening is learning at home, which is very challenging and very difficult for all of us. Moving along. Now, these are very worrying times for our families. We don't quite know how things are going to pan out. We do know that things will get better one day, but at the moment, we're not sure how that's going to look. But I do know that one day we'll all be back at school together. That doesn't stop us worrying about it and being concerned about it, but how we deal with that is really important. And I'm sure your parents have talked to you about this, but today I'm going to suggest that how we think about things and how we look at things will help us get through this. Now, there are different ways of looking at the same thing. The best way to show you is with some optical illusions. Have a look at this and see what you think it is. I wonder how many of you can see a duck and how many of you can see a rabbit. Different ways of looking at the same thing. Try this one. What do you see? How many of you see two faces looking at each other? And how many of you see a vase or lamp stand? That's my clock you can hear. So moving along. Now look at this glass. What do you see? When you look at that glass, is it a glass half full of water or half empty? The way you think and look at things can affect the way you feel. And that is really important, even more so now. Okay. Now, I wonder if you remember this little figure. This is Skipper, and a while back we did some building resilience, which was all about looking on the bright side. Because if we look on the bright side of things, that helps us to get through challenging times. And actually, Skipper and looking on the bright side is important now more than ever as we deal with the uncertainty of our current situation. Now, one strategy I'm going to share with you today to help you look on the bright side is gratitude. Now it's a difficult word to understand sometimes, but it's about focusing on all the things we are thankful or grateful for. And that's really important, because if we can do that, we start to think positively about things and look for the positives even in this difficult situation. So I'm going to share with you some of the things that I personally am grateful for. Now, the first one is my family. Now, obviously, that's not a picture of my family. It's cutouts, because actually my family are all over the place at the moment. But we do keep in touch via Zoom and Skype and WhatsApp and all sorts of different messaging services and just phoning one another. And I'm sure you're doing the same thing. So my family, and part of my family is also my pets. So there's my dog Maggie, my cat Cora, she's the grey one, and my cat Lyra, she's the tortoiseshell one. So I'm very grateful for having them and having their company. And they just get on with every day. They're not worrying about the future. I'm also grateful that I have a garden. I'm very lucky. And I know many of you do and many of you don't. But the important thing is that I can get outside every day, and so can you. And the other thing I'm grateful for is the fact that I can go and have a lovely walk up on the Braid Hills, which is close to where I live. And that's a picture I took the other day of Arthur's Seat in the sunshine. And look, even though we can see the clouds in the sky, we can't see any vapor trails. Our air is much clearer now, much cleaner, and that's something I'm grateful for. And of course, I'm very grateful for the community at Davidson's Mains Primary School. All our fantastic teachers who are doing a brilliant job helping you and supporting you with your learning at home, and our PSA community who are out there delivering food parcels, handing out jotters, helping record videos and doing all sorts of amazing work, including the staff song, which I hope you've seen. We all did a video during the Easter holidays and Mr. Hogg has put it together. Hopefully you've all managed to see that. So my staff team are doing an amazing job to support all of us, one another and you guys. So I have a challenge for you. I want you to take a few moments every day to think about the people, moments and things that you are thankful for. Is it your families? Is it going out for a walk? Is it having time at home to enjoy the lovely weather that we're having? All these things. Now you can do this as an individual task, or I would encourage you to do it as a family. So if you can find an old jam jar and decorate it with pens and sticky paper and whatever you can find around the house, make it look really lovely. And in it, you can record some thankful messages. Perhaps you want to write one a day, put them in the jar, and then at the weekend or at the end of the week, sit down as a family and take them out and look at all the things that you are thankful for. And I can guarantee it will make you feel better. Or if you've got some Post-its and you're allowed to use them, you could stick them up on your bedroom wall or around your mirror and write down all the things that you are thankful for. If you do one a day, by the end of the week, you'll have 7. And those will be wonderful things to look at. Or you could keep a thankful diary or write a card or just say thank you to someone else. So just to finish up, I'd like you to think about this. This was a saying from Albus Dumbledore, that great wizard and head of Hogwarts School, and I don't think I can say it better, that happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if one simply remembers to turn on the light. So if you can start to think about all the things you are thankful for, you can turn on that light. And I want to finish with this wonderful man, Captain Tom Moore, and I'm sure you've all heard of him. He's raised almost £30 million for NHS charities. And he, of all people, now that he's turned 100, he lived through the Second World War. He served his country during the Second World War. And that was a time when people didn't know what was going to happen. They didn't know if we would be able to stay free and keep our country safe. But we did, and we succeeded. And we are very grateful to all the people that served and did that for us. And Captain Tom Moore was one of the people that did that. So he most of all knows how to be positive and how you think about things can help you get through this. And he said last week, for all those people who are finding it difficult at the moment, the sun will shine on you again and the clouds will go away. So I hope you can remember that, and I hope you can remember to be thankful every day. Finish. I'm not going to put these on the video because I think it'll use up too much space. I will send your parents the login for Fishy Music again, but there's some great songs. Bad Times Won't Last, which is quite a thoughtful song. Then there's a very lively song, Always Look on the Bright Side of Life, which some of your parents might know, and then a thank you song. And finally, there's a song that your family might know by the world famous Louis Armstrong called What a Wonderful World. Thank you everybody and take care. Goodbye.